Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody tuning in. Welcome to another one of my weekly Outlook videos. Today, I'll be going over a couple of pairs that I'm looking at going into the week of August 16th, 2020. All right, so let's get right into it. I got USD Mexican peso here on the daily time frame. Here you can see after this huge impulsive move to the upside, we've basically started to trickle back down, right? This is a retracement phase that we're in, but nevertheless, it is a downtrend, and I'm looking to go, with the flow of price. So if we come down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we're approaching a pretty nice level of support. And for me to go short on this pair, I would like to see some sort of break of that level paired with a retest before I look to even consider going short. But I do have a short bias on USD peso going into this week. All right, so taking a look at AUDSGD, let me zoom out onto the daily time frame. Here you can see that we have failed to continue making lower lows, right? So we were in a downtrend, but we're now failing to create that newer low. It actually looks like we're making a nice steady move to the upside with this most recent uptrend that we've created. If I come down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that price has broken a pretty key level of 4-hour resistance, come back and retested that level. I like the rejections that we've created at this level. I am looking to potentially go long on this pair, right? So if we consider our risk to reward, I'd probably put my stop loss right below those previous lows in the market, and I would target some previous highs that we've created. Probably have to zoom out and see some of the previous highs that were being formed. Let me make sure that this is zoomed out. So I'd probably be targeting some of these previous highs right there in the market as we are continuing this nice steady move to the upside. We're looking at about a 3-to-1 ratio in terms of the reward and the risk that we're taking. So pretty nice setup that I see developing on our hands. All right, so coming over to CADCHF, let me zoom out to the weekly so that this downtrend is a little bit more apparent. But you can see that we just continue to create lower lows in the market, and I like to go with the flow of price. So I'm looking for sells right now, as price action, even on some of the smaller time frames, is looking pretty bearish. All right, so if I come down to the 4-hour, you can see that we've had a nice break of support. We've come back and retested it as resistance a couple of times, and I'm looking for this downside movement to continue going into this week. So I do have a short bias on CADCHF. All right, so let's take a look at AUDUSD. Here on the daily time frame, it almost looks identical to AUDSGD, so a similar play out that I see potentially happening, but you can see this downtrend that we are no longer creating, right? We are failing to create lower lows in the market, and we've actually broken a pretty key level, a very strong level of resistance here on AUDUSD. I would love to see us come back and retest this broken resistance, turn support before going long. All right, so coming over to Euro JPY, you can see another nice steady downtrend that has been broken, right? Where we failed to continue creating lower lows in the market. And if we come over to the 4-hour time frame, you can see these nice breaks and retests of key levels of support and resistance, right? So if we can get Euro JPY to make a dip back into this level, I may look to potentially go long, right? Depending on what price action or patterns develop in that region, and on my own, based on my own personal strategy of how I enter the market. But I do have a long bias on Euro JPY as we do continue to make this steady move to the upside. All right, so coming over to GBPJPY, again, it looks almost identical to Euro JPY, so a similar playout that I see developing. But basically, we have this steady uptrend here that's shown on the 4-hour time frame. We've come back to retest a pretty key level of resistance. It shows up pretty nicely on the 1-hour time frame. And if we can get a dip back into this level, coupled with maybe some rejections, so I'd be taking a look at price action and how that's developing on some smaller time frames. I may look to potentially go long as well and go with the flow of price, right, and just continue this steady move to the upside. All right, so those are the pairs, the top pairs that I'm looking at going into this week. If you guys appreciate the simplicity as well as accuracy of my analysis, definitely leave a like down below, as well as comment a pair that you want to see covered in next week's video. And please don't forget to subscribe for future content like this. The last thing that I want to mention is the fact that I do have a free Telegram analysis channel where I post updates on my trade ideas and sort of, you know, the reasoning behind them, just so that it can be more of a educational experience for those inside that community. So if you're interested, definitely join. It is completely free at the moment, and I will see you guys there, or I will see you guys in next week's video. Peace.